pee so bad.
Hey, Podcast America. Mike has to pee. Welcome to episode 40-something of the Enlightened Neanderthals. And before we get into the show notes, let's talk about my own Training Northwest. Our full range training schedule is up on the website, trainingnorthwestllc.com. Our first aid and ham radio class is up for, I believe it's June 8th, with our friend Brent, who was on episode 43 or 44, Disaster Prep with Brent.
Yes.
And then we have the Electric North Jiu-Jitsu pantheon of podcasts.
We got the Marvel universe,
Holy
my
fuck.
friend. There's so many podcasts coming out. Jordan, are you ready to alley?
Will No Tell.
Okay. Yeah. We got Will No Tell. We have Stones and Who's?
Bones. Tyler Stanway's
Compassionate Viking. We got our friend Danny with what?
White Belt Mafia.
We got our other friend Christy Campbell with
Coffee Talk.
I love coffee.
I love talking.
There we go.
Let's put the two together. Do we hit them all?
Greg Anderson and the Endless Endeavor.
And the Grand Poobah himself, Mr. Greg Anderson.
Yeah.
When I want content, this is the channel I turn to. The
Electric North.
Podcast universe. Yeah, I like it.
That's exactly it.
So this was a book review podcast of The
Turn.
Divine Matrix by Gregg Braden, published by Jordan.
Hay House.
Hey,
Publishing.
House.
Mike loves this book.
It's why it's a long
Is this
podcast.
the most we've ever argued on one episode?
It might be. Yeah, there's a lot of mixed emotions here with this fella and what his book had to say.
Like,
the thing is
we
guys,
triggered him.
Guys, here's the deal. I can't throw stones in this glass house.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what.
It was fun to toss
Those
a couple.
stones.
Shut the fuck up.
Those stones have feelings too.
Yeah.
So
The content.
enjoy the show, guys. It's just as good. I don't care what anybody says.
Some would say better.
Some would, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay,
Get
so
the
who
inflection.
published the Audible book?
Hay House.
Hay House Audible?
Hay
Or
House Audio. Or,
Audio.
gosh darn it. Hay House.
Hay House.
No, not. Golly, you sons of bitches. No, the publisher was Hay House.
Okay, so we're talking about the book The Divine Matrix by Gregg Braden, published by who, Jordan?
Hay House.
And before we get into the book, I want to do a real quick trans check-in, because already since the last time we recorded, there's already been some awesome improvements. Because right off the bat, Jordan, your kitchen construction has begun, correct?
Oh, yeah, instantly. I was like, it is time to go trans on this kitchen, dude.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
And then diet success also?
I cut out most sugar. There's like...
What was sugar to you?
Sugar was...
Just a bag of brown sugar is the
I
way
was
to
gonna
work.
say,
Yeah.
he's got his fist wrapped around a Foster's oil can at the moment.
Well, you know,
Hey,
cheat day, recording day,
this
boys.
is podcast
Fluid.
Yeah. No, I mean, chocolate, actual, just straight sugar, tons of bread. I pretty much just went carnivore to kind of feel a little bit a kick. So I did that for the week just to kind of, and it's crazy.
What's carnivore for you?
Straight meat. I went to Costco and bought a bag of, called Tobin. What was it?
You were excited about, was it briskets? Or?
No, it was 19 pounds of tri-tip.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he
Prime.
called me and he's like, you got a really good price on this. And I was like, cool, man. Is that it? He's like, yeah, that's all I wanted.
Yeah, you didn't want to get in on this, dude. It was 19 pounds of tri-tip. They had in a special bag I've never seen before. I was like, they must have fucked up, dude. I was so excited.
It's like this carbon fiber woven into the bag.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
that's
it
a
was-
lot of meat.
It was awesome. Yeah. So then I've just been eating tri-tip ever since.
Okay, so I'm curious. Do you feel different? Or does he feel just kind of like, you've lost weight, correct?
Yeah, I lost about 10 pounds now.
Okay, that's significant. That's not like a nothing.
Well, I think the sugar is the biggest part of it. I mean,
Yes,
who
I
knows?
agree.
There's science behind it and all the other crap, I'm sure. But the craziest thing to me is just the cravings. And granted, yes, I am drinking a beer right now.
Yeah.
And sure, I had 2 chocolate bars yesterday. That's not the point. Okay?
Two of them?
I said, let me just get these fuckers out of the house, you know?
It's not my fault to come in a Plint pack.
Through my intestines. So I had a trans relapse, and
You detrans?
I did name to myself. Yes.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I'm back to after I guess this fosters back to it.
You're retransing.
Retransing.
No, but you can still have a beer or two and
Yes.
still
No,
yeah.
no, no, I'm
I mean,
just
it
giving
just
him shit.
I
know.
cleaned it up significantly.
There we go.
You know, I know how to eat correctly. I know how to like really change the body and like what I need to do that. So that's basically what I'm doing, cleaning up the diet as much as possible, and then I just wanted to weigh in to kind of see. Last weekend or the weekend before, I was about 220, 218, 220, and now I'm sitting at about 210. So I'll just keep
that's significant.
making that.
Doing the carnivore, how's peeing out your bum bum?
Only started yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a lot of
Really?
mango. and-
I thought it would be the opposite, where you needed fiber to make you go.
No, I hadn't been able to go. I'd been like
Okay, that's
it'd
what
been
I would
a
expect.
lot less, and then when it does release, it releases
Oh.
like the hounds of hell.
Takes me like 3 days doing like that all meat. My favorite is steak and avocados.
Yeah,
I like
good.
throwing in a little something. I love
That's your favorite
vegetables.
meal, or that's your favorite if you're going on like a
If I'm
two-food
doing
diet?
like a keto carnivore,
And that's really more. I think the move is keto.
Keto's nice. The thing I really like about keto is it revs your brain up, and no one really talks about it. Like when you do like you get those strips and you pee on them, so like your diet's tuned in, and brain fog lifts, and it feels like your mind's kind of just running at a higher speed. But think of it, your diet has a ton of fat in it, and your brain is composed mainly of fat. They always said like salmon is brain food growing up.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you get your body to run off of fat, are you just like redlining your brain in a good way? Like you're giving it all the nutrients, the octane gas it needs to really.
Yeah, I'm noticing that you've got your microphone facing like Gregg's, which we learned ours have to go into the end because your voice was getting louder. Twist that thing. Yeah, I bet you'll sound a lot better now.
There we go.
Talking to the end of it.
Oh yeah,
Just a tip.
Yeah, dude.
there we go.
How about you? Are you? What's your deal?
Big trans, dude. I
Trans right into a house, dude.
trans. I got the keys to my house, and I had a whirlwind weekend going and picking up a bunch of my stuff from down in Oregon, and I got mostly, I shouldn't say mostly moved in, but I've got a bed, a chair, and a frying pan.
That's
So
what else do you need, dude?
Exactly.
Nailed
Exactly.
it.
Oh, and a Bluetooth speaker.
Well,
So
hey, did you pick up that cooking
I did.
implement? Oh,
Yep.
fuck
The
yeah.
big flat top griddle is in my garage. It needs a little TLC. It has some corrosion on it, so we need to get like a brush grinder and just take it down and re-season, refinish a little bit, which is easy enough.
Jordan, what do you think about for Tobin's place, like a homemade pizza wood fire oven?
That'd be amazing.
That's-
There's
that's-
no
Make it out
space.
of brick?
It's very
Yeah.
small.
So
It's very
You got
small.
a backyard?
No, I don't.
Put it in your front yard. Fuck it,
Right next to your mailbox.
dude. You know,
Yeah.
you got that cool little lawn area.
Yeah.
You could create like a little deck situation out there. It overlooks the water. Nobody's front
patio
yard.
around
Fucking
the-
front yard. Come
Yeah.
on, dude. Front
You know,
yard grilling.
It feels awkward to be out in the front yard now because all the neighbors can sort of look at you.
Yeah.
It's true. I guess they'll all just wish they were there.
Yeah, drink it in, bitches.
That's what success looks like. Check out my pizza oven.
Yeah, would you like a slice?
Yeah.
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 Actually, that's brilliant to front on your neighbors.
And
Put
you
a
know,
pizza oven in your front yard.
Yeah, look at this Italian bastard moved in.
Statue of Michelangelo.
But this
David.
does sort of highlight the best thing about, like, man, it has made me very aware that like I've spent so many years just nose to the grindstone and grinding and grinding and grinding. And when I hear a lot of these self-help guru types who are like, oh no, you have to have all this, if you're positive energy and your positive intention, then success will come. And it's like, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that nose to the grindstone works.
Well, that's
for me to be able to recover from the divorce and everything in this short of a time to where I just moved into my own house again, makes me really grateful. And then the cool part is when you have your own house, it's like having a fucking tree fort where you can do anything you want. Yeah. Like I'm going to hang whatever kind of cool ass shit I want on the walls. I went and bought like some big organizer shelves for the garage so I could have like the nice looking garage with all the storage bins and everything.
Hell yeah.
Have all my, hunting gear and whatnot all put away. It's fucking fun.
Yeah, but it's also nice too because it's a point in life too. Like you're trans and left and right, but this is a time for like refinement. Like you said, you've gone through a lot and it's been like emotionally weighing. Like it has a lot of implications, and the fact that you have your own now serenity. You've been having to shack up where you don't have your own space, but now to have that and get comfortable, like that's a good thing. You get to refine.
Oh, it's huge. This is huge.
Well, you get to see who you are for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this in a bad way, but I spent the last 15 years working to support a vision of life that wasn't mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to sound selfish because part of being a family is it's not just your vision.
Yeah.
But it is kind of fun to now get to sort of create my vision.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Like, I mean, think about that though. Like, you went from being at your parents', right, to being in the military.
Yep.
And then there was, I'm sure, a short stint, a couple years before you got with Jen.
Yeah, we married when I was 28.
So what was
10 years between high school and when we got married.
And how much of that was spent in
Iraq?
In Iraq, and
damn near all of it.
Yeah. So now is your first time, like you.
Yeah.
Putting your,
you're right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's a fucking cool place to be, dude.
Fucking A.
Casa de Tobin.
Yeah.
But
Castle Falkenstein.
Castle Falkenstein.
I'll lend you the Hitler table.
Easy, you crazy bastards.
And then physically, I have full feeling back in my left arm and hand now.
Oh.
And there was...
Stop jerking off.
Yeah, well... Hey.
You got it back. Congratulations.
I lifted one heavy box and I felt like a zing go down my arm and I was like, oh shit. And so I'm not going back to the gym until I've moved all my stuff. I got a couple more. I got to move the gun safe still. That's going to be a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, let me know.
Yep.
I can.
Jordan's got a bad back. There's a couple of 18, 19-year-olds at the gym who want to prove how strong they are.
Dude, give me a forearm forklift and another
Those straps?
Yeah. Some forearm forklift. We'll lift that thing wherever we need to put it, dude.
So Mike, you just transed right into the flu, huh?
Yeah, I got knocked out. When was trans? Was trans a week ago?
Yeah,
We're
it
pretty
dropped
much a week.
last Friday, I think.
Yeah. But since
we were 2 weeks
recorded,
ago. 2 weeks ago.
Week and a half.
Okay. Numbers are looking good, boys. The podcast is gaining popularity, so thank you to anyone who's sharing it.
Yeah.
And then
appreciate you guys.
Keep doing it. Shove it down to everyone's throat, on the line.
All right. Divine Matrix. This was a little bit of a woo-woo, so I know Mike's going to have some strong opinions about this. I like it because I'm infatuated with this theory of
Summer of Trans was your idea. I'm just saying. Put that out there first. Tell me about your book.
Oh, fucking hell. I kind of want you to tell us about it.
Now, give us
the synopsis.
Synopsis.
The synopsis is that there is a all-connecting thing, like a two-dimensional plane almost of information that religious people would call God. I guess spiritual people would call source or consciousness. And I think quantum physics is starting to realize that there is something that, the or non-locality of particles where their statuses or their state coincides with each other across
Spooky
vast
physics.
distances.
Yeah.
That where travel is not possible at the speed of light in the amount of time they're communicating with each other. So even quantum physics is starting to show that everything is connected in some way, and it's a way that we don't really understand, or even, I don't even think we begin to understand right now. And that is what he calls the divine matrix. It's all these different ways of explaining kind of the same thing.
Yes, but just because something's not understood doesn't mean you give a blanket statement to everything and say it's the divine matrix. This dude, let me tell you, you know what blew the book for me, Jordan?
What's that?
Remember when he did the karate class?
Yeah.
And he took the example of the sensei. He said he saw it. Fucking McDojo Life himself wrote this book. Right? Remember? And he's like, I asked my students to push
To
me.
move me.
Yeah, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, you're giving, there is a lot that, I have certain things from this book that I do think are good. For example,
it's been so long since we read it that I forgot about that.
No.
But you're right, that was super cheesy.
Keep going, Mike.
He told his students to move him, and they tried really hard, and none of them could do it.
We should do that at 101 next time you're teaching. Jordan, I'll try to move you. Oh shit, we can't push him.
But you know what?
Fuck that. Do it at Rifleman Camp. I guarantee it happens. Someone won't be able to. It's like he's made.
All right, watch. We're gonna shoot at Mike. Won't even hurt him.
Made of stone. But it's like what they're searching for in that is like that example of like there's something unexplainable. It has to be this quantum entanglement of unified consciousness, and they just kept saying that the whole book.
I think there is something to
it was.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
I think there is something to that is real.
Yeah.
What is
people
like
that are
groupthink
nuts.
and
Yeah.
not able to,
But are cults.
truly cannot think outside of the possibility.
Okay.
That I can push this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Look at our gym. Our gym is a cult in a way. The group at our gym is
Allegedly.
a cult in a
Allegedly.
way. But then you take something much more extreme, an extreme cult, and you get a McDojo that believes that professor, he touches you and you fall down.
Yeah, he
or you
can't
try and
bleed.
stab him with
Yeah.
a knife and you shove it in your own face.
yeah.
Did I see
That's
that? That's
McDo-
badass.
Yeah, but this guy tried to say McDojo Life was the divine matrix. I'm
Yes.
just saying.
No,
at which point I
agree.
lost faith in
I
this
agree.
book report, and I'm really questioning the rest of Tobin's books. Was that part in this
only
book?
picture books from now on. There is definitely something to that. And at what point do you discredit it all based on ludicrousy like that? You know, there's a certain level of like, but there's a lot I did like in it that I think the divine matrix, I'm trying to think of, it's been so long.
He cited a bunch of actual studies done by
Yes.
like Stanford
Poorly.
physics department.
Whoa,
Yes.
bro.
Wait, were you reading up on his bibliography and actually running these studies down?
No, but he did not define the point well. He would
I
say
agree with
there's
that,
things
yes.
that are misunderstood and be like, the divine matrix. It's like, dude, but
Yeah.
give me some more evidence.
I see what you're saying. The way he concluded his
Scientific-
chapters was always kind of weak.
And he said he worked for a space or aerospace program.
It's because
Hang on, I've been to Boeing. Trust me.
he couldn't divulge much.
yeah.
Okay?
Did
That
not
is
like
it.
that part.
So he did put his arguments together poorly. And that, in fact, I don't think he made much of an argument. In the end, I was kind of confused about what the point
raised
was.
certain things that are peculiar.
But what's interesting is that he raised all these different studies that sort of correlate with one another and that show, talk about, again, the what do you call it, non-locality or whatever, where the particles are obviously communicating with each other.
So, okay, let's
near
start there. That's a good
instantaneously.
point because what is it? When you reverse polarity, like if you take a molecule or you take an atom and you smash it or you separate it and it has two individual pieces,
Smash it.
smash it, You can pull it apart even from the moon to the earth, right? And if you can reverse electron polarity, is it electron or electrical? I think it is electron polarity. That if you do it to one, it happens instantaneously to the other.
See,
right?
you know that Jordan and I are good electricians because when you went, is it electron or electric? And we both went, yep. Like, but we were both like very confident when we said, yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it does affect it instantaneously. Like, not like the speed of light, like it happens instantly. So it's like, yes.
But what happens in between those?
What do you mean?
The divine matrix.
Get out of here, dude. Poorly written. All right, but we're starting with there.
I can't talk shit
I had not read
about.
it. I read it when you guys read it.
I can't talk shit about anything because fuck. If I tried writing a book, could you imagine that, boys? I'm over here trying to just explain this book. Right?
Yeah.
Divine Matrix.
I think if you wrote books, it would be hunter fiction.
It would absolutely. Well, we've talked about that.
We've
talked about that.
That's
like
right.
the walks out of the woods I've had, and just kind of like, what if I just stumble on a dead body right now? And like, what
fiction?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, son of a bitch. And then
Would we take trophies or would we report it?
well, of course you'd report it, depending, because then it's like, oh, now.
It's a nice spotting scope.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember coming down from that elk hunt and we started talking about this, and I think you maybe even did say like it would be a weird form of literature, but like talking about the people that go missing on hiking trails and the amount of murders that happen.
Oh, dude,
and like
there's
Jordan and I
whole
are
podcasts
walking
about that.
Yeah, but Jordan and I were walking down this hill hunting, and it's like, is this guy gonna murder me? We're like, he's like, do you know statistically how many people go missing on trails every year? And he did not stop, and it was
Dude,
like,
we're like we're like 5 miles back there.
Mike's like slowly pulling out his pistol.
He's like, you take point.
Did you just knock an arrow?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's what I think about when I'm out there. All of a sudden, I'm like, man, how crazy would that be if all of a sudden, because shit like that happens all the time, supposedly. But anyway, back to the Divine Matrix. So.
This might be our shortest book report ever because I kind of feel like we summed it up there. It's about
no,
the
but
idea.
no. But there are good things because you're talking about consciousness. So just the way you can reverse polarities and spin on an atom that's broken apart, you can have weird contradictions that don't make sense in life too. Like if saying that reversal is like this thought process and this consciousness throughout the universe, they started to bring up one good point, which was like the idea of when things are made, that other things are kind of made around it a little bit, or like things can be done again. And there's a study that they've done with rat mazes, right? And they'll have the same exact maze, and it takes one rat, like they'll have one rat do it, and it takes it an hour. Mm-hmm. And then they'll release another rat in the other side of the world, and it'll take them just under an hour. And then they'll release a rat in another side of the world, and it takes that just a little under that. Okay. And the more they do, it builds. And it's like, so what are we saying here?
So we're talking about the Akashic Record then, which is, it's the memory of everything that ever is, was, and or will be.
Yes.
Well, but that's what that higher consciousness, or you're talking about higher consciousness.
But what's
like
happening is not like a record of. What's happening is as things are happening, it's creating the record. Right?
Yes.
And so to me, when you think about this in this book, it's like, so the more experience can happen, the more experience builds and knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like
we're saying the same thing.
Yes. But
what's a 4-minute mile? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's that kind of
or the double backflip and then the front flip on the dirt bike. You know what I mean? Like front flip was impossible until somebody did it, and now every 15-year-old kid with a fucking ADCC two-stroke and do a front flip.
But that doesn't just mean it's the divine matrix. That means there seems to be something tied in with the laws of physics, of consciousness.
Yes.
A true, like, I think Einstein had it right when he said a unified theory. I think unified theory is not the basic fundamentals of physics, a four-law process. It is more. It is consciousness. It is everything that's involved.
Yes.
And everything that's involved is even more. I think things like evolution. If you look at how programmers work on networking, when networks are allowed to communicate, they develop their own systems.
Yeah.
Right? There is so much more that's involved with this world that we don't know. And it's like, I think that movie, what was it? It was a Marvel movie, Thor, but it's like your old people called it magic and our new people call it science. It's the same exact fucking
But our
thing.
science has started to discount parts of it because they can't quantify it or explain it. It's like if they...
Define me.
No, they can't
if they
define it, so it's not in the textbook. That's the beautiful thing about the scientific
But here's
process,
the thing,
though.
is they have become so dogmatic about what is in their textbooks that they have lost track of the fact that textbooks are just the best information
Yeah,
available.
but no,
hey, slow down. Let me finish.
That's
Damn it.
radicalization, though.
No,
You
it
could
is
say
not.
that
It
about
is not.
anyone.
They've science has become extremely dogmatic.
Yes, because of politics and
Yes.
radicalizing. But the scientific method, the process, when you have unbiased, I mean, part of the process is scrutiny.
You got to
Let me
find the
finish.
unbiases.
What science has lost track of is that what's in their textbooks, in their dogma, is just the best information available at the time, and that changes. That changes constantly.
Oh, absolutely.
And so once they've locked themselves into this where they are fighting tooth and nail to sort of preserve the information as it is written right now, and there must be no change. And so, shit, I forgot where I was going. God damn it.
I mean, yes, I'll say that. I'm going to change.
I'm a
this.
passionate
I'm
man
going to
about
change a little
books.
bit about it
Oh,
because
sorry.
there's.
My bad.
Shut up, Jordan.
I remembered what I was
Let
going
me
to
just
say.
slide back and drink this beer.
I'm sorry, man, but I remembered where I was taking all that.
Keep going.
Back to your rat in the maze thing, which I think what that shows is that there is a higher consciousness that we all get a little connection to. We all have a different experience, but we all have a connection to a higher consciousness, and it's both an upload and a download.
Yes.
So when that first rat found its way through the maze, it uploaded.
But I don't
into the higher consciousness.
I don't like the word higher consciousness.
I call it God, call it
No,
the
no.
Akashic Record, call it the divine matrix, Mike.
But we're creating...
Call it the Mike Kozak two-dimensional plane.
But-
Either way, when you do something for the first time,
screen-
you begin to enter that information into that record, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
It's just like when a video game programmer, you say you're doing fucking Minecraft like my kids do, right? If you put a tree in the video game, then all the other players see it. So that tree that you put in, you uploaded it to higher consciousness downloaded it into everybody. So everybody now sees that tree that you planted, right? And so the same thing happens. That rat finds its way through the maze, uploads to higher consciousness, downloads to all the other rats, and now they have an inkling of a way to get through that maze, and that's how it starts. That's how something that wasn't previously accomplished suddenly becomes commonplace.
Does a rock have consciousness?
Great question. I don't know.
It
Does-
has energy,
Okay, so here...
and that's what relates us to the rock, right?
Well-
So, and that brings me into the conversation. Here we go.
Jordan's back.
Hey,
Let's
jump
go.
in, boy.
Rocks.
Well, the thing that I liked about it was the belief, and like, because he kind of gets into like, if you think positively, you can heal yourself,
Yes.
right? You can do things like that, and that is, I believe, 100% true.
You mean when he's
I think-
talking about
I
his dog
agree.
getting cancer and then his mother getting cancer, or the guy that was sick with cancer and he thought
And started-
positive and beat it?
Started thinking positively. I think there's something to that, because look at people who think negatively,
Yep.
right? And all of a sudden, what ends up happening to
Have you
your
ever
body?
met a successful, like a person who acts negatively all the time? Have
and
you ever
is,
met
and
one
is
who's
fucking
successful?
killing it?
Yeah.
Like,
But I have to look at this once again in a scientific or a process where it's like,
Okay.
okay, a negative person is going to make more cortisol and stress hormones.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking weaken your immune
Okay.
system.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
going to downplay. So is it like...
so there's things that happens. So
does
that's scientific.
a mindset like impact your biological body?
Yes.
Or is there something also that is extra, like a spirit, that no matter what your biological body is telling you, your mindset is what prevails? If cancer is constant growth,
I think both.
I think if you can create a positive mindset and stay in that, which is extremely hard, which is why you got to find other people to give you the energy in order to do it. I truly think, like,
I think you can learn, like, get it from within. That's exercise and meditation. And
yeah, but you
have to learn.
It helps to go to a place to gain.
You're right.
The
People
you're
are
right. There are times, and there's
people
times
are
when you're just
important
down.
for people.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
People
You guys
are
right.
important for
I just
people.
went through 6 shitty months, and having the gym community was fucking huge.
Yeah.
So.
To have to. And,
Well,
and
I'm
look at
exiling
you now,
you
dude.
tonight,
Fucking
Get out of here.
trans. Yeah.
Taking my podcast machine with me.
Don't. Okay.
Until next time, boys. Tally ho. No, I think that makes a huge difference to be able to, like, be positive or get healthy, and, like, just rolling your shoulders back and keeping your chin level with the ground is a positive thing.
I have been experimenting with looking people in the eye when I'm walking around the place
Check
I
this
work.
out. Look people in their left eye.
Oh,
Remember, guys.
What's that?
their left eye or my left as I see them?
Your left eye, using your left eye to see their left eye. Yes,
Okay.
and there's something about
Connects right brains?
Yes, well, it connects, like, your
right brain's your spiritual side.
Supposedly, how your mother, something to do with your mother and how she held
Sounds
you.
Freudian.
Yeah, something to the point of, like, most people
Depends
are
if she's
left-handed,
right or left-handed.
so they hold you in their left hand so they can use their right hand to do things, which puts them on your left side, and then you're looking into your left eye, and, like, there's a bonding thing.
I'm going to go
that,
ahead
like,
and discount that.
hey,
theory. Maybe with women.
I'm looking you in your left eye. Don't you feel a certain
I'm
way?
swooning.
Yeah, but
Right,
both you
yeah.
guys are right-handed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right eye dominant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am left-handed, left eye dominant.
Is your mom right-handed?
left-handed?
There you go.
There it is. See? Prove
Checks out.
Wait, what?
So now I got to look at you in your
Try
right
to
eye.
disprove that one, Mike.
Now I'm looking you in your right eye.
My soul hurts.
You're left-handed because your mom taught you to use your left hand. Because she used her left hand, and as you watched her do all of her stuff, she was writing and doing all the left-handed stuff.
You
My
wanna know why
brother
I'm
was
awesome?
staring at a fucking mirror, apparently, because he's left-handed.
The,
My mom's
the
not.
guy that couldn't make it in the major leagues because of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Well, he hit me in the face with that baseball bat, and my dad snapped the baseball bat over his knee. Yeah,
It's your fault somehow.
One and the same.
All right. What? I derailed you.
Yeah, sorry guys. No, I think that the if you're positive, which he talks about being basically using a positivity
Yeah.
to heal yourself.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with that.
But how does being positive translate into beating cancer? Like,
So
what are
here's
the mechanisms?
this is what I'll just go ahead and say it.
I have an answer to it.
Before I got cancer, right?
Yeah, you're the only person that can speak on that.
I thought, how cool would it be to win a state title
With cancer.
and have some crazy, like, sickness that I had to overcome in order, like, and guess what?
Just bald in a singlet at 75
Dude,
pounds.
I started thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. Next thing you know, I got fucking cancer. And when I found out, it was so small and minute that it was like, and so part of me is like, did I give myself cancer? Manifested it?
Yeah.
Like, did I make this a thing?
Why did you
And
want to win?
I wanted to
the
win state,
disease?
but then how cool is it to, like,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
chicken soup for the
Malaria.
soul, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, and then I just got
He
the
had
fucking
AIDS and won regionals.
look at this guy. Yeah, it was 1976. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So I can kind of answer that. So, or at least take a stab at the woo-woo. That's a little bit of a woo-woo. It
hippie.
has a little bit of science behind it.
I'm listening.
So we know that thoughts have energy, right? Because if you do like the MRI, you can see the different parts of the brain light up while you're having, say, a positive thought versus a negative thought, which means that there's an electrical signal going on, which means that there's some kind of
data.
electromotive force,
There's a
right?
binary.
So
Someone's-
what creates like a radio wave, electromagnetic radiation? It's created by an electrical circuit. So it stands to reason that these thoughts create electromagnetic radiation. Well, now radiation has wavelengths and frequencies, which how they came up with this correlation, I don't know. This is where someone would have to take a dive and fact check a little bit.
I'll do it.
Yeah. They correlate certain...
That's our fact checker, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
They correlate certain thoughts to certain frequencies and wavelengths of sound, and that's where you get like some of the hippie woo-woo music, like the 442 megahertz and the 528 megahertz.
I think that's real.
Is
I don't think that's hippie woo-woo.
I think the science behind it is actually complete. I don't know how to tell you which frequency is which emotion and what it lines like what key of G or whatever the fuck, but it's all documented. So if someone wanted to take a deep dive on it, and that's why they have, like you're talking about, the binaural beats and the, again, 528 megahertz, and I think it's like 382. And
well, that's why your hair stands up, because things should get you in moments of awe.
That's a perfect example, is that certain songs will literally move you. Like you'll have your workout songs and your love songs and your songs that just make you feel happy, like when the sun's out, right? And that's because sound and emotion have a correlation.
Yes.
So you're talking about if a thought can create a wavelength that is equivalent to sound, then a thought can actually create a positive thought has energy that it dispels through the medium around it, part of that being your body.
Yeah.
And so does a negative thought. So that could be a way that through
if
those
there's
frequencies,
one, there's another.
And every atom in your body is vibrating, right?
Yeah.
That's not woo-woo, that's fucking hard science, is that we are really just a collection of vibrating little energy waves and not even solid. Yeah. So the idea that a thought that creates electromagnetic radiation, which itself is an energy wave, couldn't affect, of course it can affect your whole body.
Yeah. Well,
suck on that, Kozak.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking scienced.
The divine matrix.
Divine. The fucking divine, dude. Yeah, I think there's absolute
but yes, everything shakes and it has vibration, but then it's like, okay, so think of it as the very beginning. Like if the Big Bang happened and then all you had was plasma, and then the most abundant atom on the periodic table is hydrogen, right? That's why it's number one. It's the most out there. The oldest stars.
Number one because of the number of electrons in its valence
yes, but
shell?
it's also most.
Oh shit!
Yes, but that is why
pulled that out of fucking.
It's primordial.
Yeah.
The oldest hydrogen stars are the purest of stars. If the Big Bang happened, right, and then it starts to cool and condense, right, and you got plasma, and then your first element is hydrogen. And you have hydrogen throughout the universe, and it starts to gather and cluster. Then all of a sudden, you have a star. One of those stars had to be the first star, right? Okay. And so then, like the rat experiment, say maybe it took a trillion years or close to that for one star to form. Well, maybe it takes a little bit less for the next and the next and the next. Just like that rat experiment, it's adding. So it's like, I hate the word higher power, because it's like, what if consciousness is the collective of experience? You have to have one to break it through, and then it becomes more common. Now stars are all throughout.
Matrix?
We should name it. We should name it something.
Yeah. Right? So it's
like a matrix.
But what
and
you're
it's divine.
In that part, though, you're talking about consciousness through shared experience. Got bad headphones or turn it up?
Yeah, there we go.
Turn me up.
Turn them up.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Sorry, guys.
Got no bass.
But if everything is like, that's what you're tapping into, that's part of another one of these parts. Like, to say everything is under one blanket, I hate to say. And I also hate to say it's God. Like, it's this thing. It's like, no, just the way I want Mike Zedong to be based off the people, I think the people are what's consciousness. When I said, does a rock have consciousness, that's what I mean when I say a molecule
you're talking about what
hydrogen.
You're talking about what the hippies call source, where it's one shared consciousness, where we each get a little piece of it.
You get a little piece of it, but the more that it started off with no consciousness.
Yes.
And then it builds to higher consciousness
Did you guys watch
through
that,
time. But hang on.
All right,
so if you keep building it through time, through more existing, and that adds. If this can have consciousness, if I can have consciousness, maybe we're different levels of it, but we're still adding to the overall, which makes things speed up faster and faster. Isn't there going to be a point where consciousness, like, there's a fucking unification?
Yes,
That's
what the Buddhists believe is like the
end of the world.
The end goal is that we all finally enlighten ourselves to where we can combine consciousnesses back into one true source consciousness.
But then what we're living to here in this physical existence.
Think about this for a second. Anything you pointed to this can or this rock or any of this stuff, and you're saying, does it have consciousness? When you look at something and it gives you a feeling or a usefulness, that item gave you some sort of a shot of something that made you feel in your heart. You were like, oh, fuck, look at this rock. It's fucking flat and I can skip it.
You're talking about a Grants Forest Brook hatchet, aren't you?
There you go. A Grants Forest Brook hatchet. Any kind of thing. I just cracked this fucking beer and this can delivered me something fucking that I enjoyed. So it was like it became something that I needed or wanted. I guess I didn't need this beer, but I wanted it.
The existence of
but
it.
But the existence of it is something positive. So that positivity that this thing just...
Yeah, but a full can of that can be used to bash someone in the head at the grocery store and they rob it.
Intent but matters. Guess what? To that person who used that implement to fucking gain the money, at that point, he goes, oh, this is exactly what I need. Perfect. Bash. Yeah, doesn't mean he did something positive with it. It means that he used it for what he needed it for. Just like a rock, if I was to beat you over the head with a rock,
kill a gazelle
and whatever, or sharpen it or break it or whatever, all of a sudden this thing gave me its positive energy to use for something else. So there is certain things that give you a level of like, oh, I could use this, or this is something that is giving, like, have you ever
say that can is the first can ever invented and you had it and it brings you that sense of fulfillment. But then more cans are going to be
They got bigger,
invented.
didn't they?
Yeah. And there'll be offshoots of it. Right?
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with it.
It's even more positive. And then they start lining them with plastic to try and make them...
But because of that one can existing, every other can follows because of that initial existence.
Yeah.
Without the first, you
and
can't
how many
have
millions of dollars?
And I know it seems like a chicken or egg question, but this is the question of what is like. I always talk about evolution. I think as a factor,
what was
a driver,
first?
It is good, but evolution today compared to evolution 4 billion years ago, I don't think the force of evolution was as strong back then as it is now because of all the things that have evolved since.
I see what you're saying. So the
it
cluster
is
of bubbles is
that's
growing
compounding.
more dense.
Yes. So consciousness is growing more dense like that.
Yes.
What was the first can?
A coconut?
I mean, when you think
kind
about
of. Right,
something like that, or
I guarantee is the first bong.
The fucking whatever it was, somebody fucking smoked out of it. I'll tell you that, brother. Yeah, you give me whatever that first can was, I'll find a way to smoke some weed out of it. Yeah,
good
give me a break.
That's what Adam and Eve were doing with the apple.
Yeah,
God's like, get out. Smells like shit in here.
All right, who the fuck poked a hole in the side of this apple?
Yeah, where'd this tinfoil come from?
One day I'll create a great son.
Did you say grape?
Oh my God.
Anyway, fucking, there were parts and bits of this book that I did truly like because
the credits.
The end. It said, there's.
Tell me what you like, Jordan.
Well, I like the thought of that everything does have energy. Everything does, and because it's more the mind thought. It's not what the book said, but when you start
but doesn't
thinking
that go back to religion? Like when I said McDojo, I meant that because you have religion that gives people purpose, but then you have religion that just people are lost in certain ways. And they're like, I want to believe. I want to be a part of something. Mm-hmm. And where I get lost in this book is where he's like, it's just, we don't know what it is. Remember when they did remote viewing? All I could think of that movie was The Men That Stare at Goats. Mm-hmm. But it was just kind of like, it's hard to explain. Divine Matrix. Well, but it's like, just think that there's a nice world, like where everything is connected and certain people kind of have powers. Like, and this is what gets me why I say it religion, because it's like life fucking rips. Dalia says it the best. Life rips.
Life rips.
Life rips. Yeah. But it's like, okay, so what if there is a God and what if there isn't a God? If there's a God and I believe in him, I go to heaven and then I'm forever happy. But what if there's not a God? People always say that. How do you live happy? And it's like, look what we got. Mm-hmm. The fact that this, and I'm not a slug living for like 2 months, like life rips. God,
think no matter about that, what,
though. Either if there is a God or isn't a God. How sweet would it be to
be a slug? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like for a slug, they're like, this is rad.
Shouldn't just existing be rad? Yeah, that's what I mean.
And that's the energy, right? That's truly like what we're talking. Like you can be a rock, and guess what? You might experience. Who knows what a rock experience is, right? Like, does a rock experience anything? I don't know.
Does a rock get horny?
But I know that a rock has a level of maybe a rock's whole fulfillment is to be like a flat stone that's been moved on the side of a lake and a kid gets to skip it. Yeah. Like how much of that moment is important?
Well, then I'm going to tie in one of my old books.
I'm going to say I don't think rocks have consciousness.
Whatever, dude.
I
agree they have energy. Do. I don't think they have consciousness.
I don't think there's a distinction between the two.
I think the difference between
what if a
biology and non-biology, life and not life, is that life, I think trees have a level of consciousness. Energy, I think grass does. I think all plants do.
Why can't energy have life?
Do.
What you don't think the
energy is life?
Energy is not life. That's what energy is energy. It's the energy is the motive force. Yes.
Energy that is life.
I think consciousness is peculiar to life.
Just because a rock can't say anything.
Jordan seems offended. Dude, the way you looked at him.
Just because a rock can't tell you how it feels doesn't mean it doesn't. Okay, maybe I like to think of people who are stoic as stoic. It's actually a root word. The great Greek mythology says that
King Leonidas,
Plato,
stoic stones are strong.
Yeah,
and those stoic stones are strong because they're stone.
Hang on,
and they're strong.
Sorry to deviate your stoic rant, but I was kind of like. The basis of stoicism is like you're the better person, things don't bother you, you can rise above, keep persistent, and things will win. But part of that, to me, thinks of like the American spirit, like leave me alone, let me be, I'm my own person, like, you know, don't tread on me, you know, just kind of let me be here. But it's like the more that people seem to be doing that lately, the more it kind of fucks you over. Like that American ideal of let me be me. It's like people are always trying to fuck over other people. We go hunting, and that's the order of it. We're trying to fuck over a deer or elk. A cougar's trying to fuck over them. That deer or elk is trying to fuck over a grass patch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything's life trying to fuck over people. And just thinking of a way of
you know what they're not fucking over?
Rocks.
Why? Because rocks don't fuck
They
around.
have consciousness, so.
Why doesn't life eat rocks? Because rocks don't have life energy.
Yes, life does. The Earth does. Are you kidding me? Is the Earth not a fucking living being?
You ever look inside a fucking the craw of a fucking?
Hang on. Rocks do not eat the Earth, and the Earth does not eat rocks.
No,
the Earth eats rocks. What do you think lava is? What is it? Are there minerals?
Hey, what are you drinking out of that cup right there?
Aren't there minerals?
Is that glass?
Sediment? Yeah.
I think that's glass, my friend.
Doesn't it go to a core?
Yeah.
Yes.
God.
You get
What do you
dense
smoke
metals.
your weed out of? A bong. You're welcome.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Coconut.
Coconut.
First can. First ball.
Golly.
First can of Faustus.
That's the forbidden fruit.
Dude.
Garden
Yeah.
of Eden.
Silica. Dude.
The
it's
Earth
what-
is alive.
It's
are you
what your
talking
bong's
about?
made out of.
The earth supports life. It's the mother.
No, it is alive.
It's
What do you
the
think
nest.
oil is?
Yeah.
Oil. Oil is
Dinosaurs.
decomposed
Say it.
life.
What is that? Blood of the earth.
But it's-
it
it's
takes things
biological.
from the top
Yes.
and sucks
Brings it
them
down.
down,
But it's not
heats
earth.
and
Up,
recreates it.
pressurizes
Yes,
The
it
earth is rocks.
It's rocks. It's metal. Our core.
Rocks and metal. Yes.
Our core
Those,
is
those
not
things don't have
rocks.
life energy, though,
Why?
because they aren't alive.
Then you've never been
But-
to a Death Leopard concert, friend. Yeah. The Rolling Stone.
Why can't
That'll make
rocks
you feel
be
a
alive?
certain way.
God. What has 7 arms and sucks?
Yeah, dude.
Def Leppard.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Def Leppard jokes.
The old drummer.
Yeah.
Golly. That's a rough car accident.
That's
You-
crazy
you
though
gotta
to
be,
play with one arm.
You got to be 37 or older to understand that joke. Surprised Jordan got it.
Oh, I'm right there with him, dude.
That's good though for one arm.
Absolutely
to be
amazing.
a drummer for Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, fuck it.
All right. So what I was saying, I don't think the earth has life energy. I think earth is the mother that supports the life energy, and it's biologics like plants,
Yeah, but
animals, and
Wait
fungus.
till I tell
that
have
Tyler
life
and he
energy.
just beats
Okay,
I
a piece
think-
of
I think Tyler
straw.
might agree with me
A
that
piece of
inanimate
wood.
objects have energy, but they don't have life energy.
A piece of wood,
Don't agree.
right?
Has life energy.
Okay. What happens when it cuts down?
Whatever happens to us when we die, probably.
Yeah, but that
decomposition
that table over there.
Yeah, because Mike slathered its dead body in formaldehyde and then put it in its living room like a fucking barbarian.
Yeah, but I mean,
See, all these people that bring wood objects into their house is just disgusting.
yeah, just death all around. Death all around us.
No, it doesn't make sense because the same thing all those other fucking things are made of, whether it's a rock or it's a tree, it has atoms,
we all
particles.
don't we all
Everything gets
become
broken
rock
down.
at
What's-
some point?
what's the
From that
difference
time
between-
book, no, from that time book, a rock isn't a thing. It's a moment of time where there's a collection.
Don't
it gets put
we
back
all
into
become
the recycle.
rock at some point?
Yes.
We all
We're
calcify
stardust.
and become fucking rock.
No, I agree with that because
So it
even the
doesn't-
rock
things-
decomposes or it gets like mashed down into powder and then
So then,
dissipates.
if we're made of all of that, then
Dude, I'm
what
stoned, dude.
consciousness is?
Like a stone.
I still
No,
don't
then-
think that in the moment that stardust as a rock, it does not have life energy in it
So why do we have life energy?
because we are
What is it?
biological. Like we
Is
are.
it a
That's
spot
what's
in our
that's
brain,
why
though?
we regard life on. That's why we
You're gonna make me start crying again.
The reason we respect life, like, and it's sort of innate in us. It's not something that it necessarily needs to be taught. We just sort of know that life is something that needs to be at least respected. We have that sort of
Life
feeling
is
within us.
We're life because what? We're smart.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more of a like divine type, or not divine, it's spiritual type of sort of sense of what. Oh fuck! I'm
Let me
saying it
say
badly.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the hubris of human,
Okay,
right? You would look into some water.
That's from a guy who wants to be a dictator.
Yeah. That's not hubris. That's my plan. It's called a 5-year plan,
Yeah.
Tobin. Why don't you get one, dude?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Fucking figure it out.
No, a human will look into water and it'll be like it's clear. There's nothing in there. And it's like you get a microscope and it gives you a different perspective. And you're like, there's tons of life in there. Life is a force that's compounding. This book hits on certain things and doesn't know how to eloquently put it.
But hey, neither do I.
Yes, but there can
And
be
guess what?
arguments
That's okay.
made. And it hits on certain things, but I think the answer is deeper. Read this book if it sparks a passion
Look at
or
this
like a
conversation.
question. Yeah. But
We haven't been this fired up about a book in a while. having a
Do you remember
Since
the-
Mike talked about hard bodies on Pele Lou.
Yeah, dude. And Pele Lou was our last fucking rant. You know.
Yeah. This guy lost me at
So this
fucking
did
McDojo.
do it. This was a good book for this. Like I truly think that like there was pros and cons. Mike didn't love the non-scientific guy
and
not
this guy was
explaining shit
hurting.
very good.
He was
But
hurting.
Fuck, I'm hurting. We're all hurting.
Yeah, but but that's what I was saying about religion earlier. Like,
I do think
when you're like,
he's a pussy
something's
for not
missing-
being able to push somebody over.
yeah,
But beyond that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't expect a writer to be tough.
depends.
Who?
What's the guy from, what's that rock band? He listens to tons of music. He's
Def
a
Leppard.
calm. No,
You expect all writers to be tough? Is that what we just said?
no, you can have tough writers.
Oh, yes,
Who?
for sure. Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S.
American
Thompson, yeah.
fucking hero.
American Badass. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Dude, reading.
We should read a Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck yeah.
it's on my shirt. My next round, it's either going to be the Bhagavad Gita or one of his books.
Have you ever
the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, that one.
All right.
Oh.
The Bhagavad Gita.
read it? Have you ever read Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail when he
I've-
wrote it?
I
in
think
the
I've
late
read all
70s?
his books.
Dude, when you read it, you feel like you're on
fucking awesome.
cocaine.
Yes,
though,
it's-
like it changes your body. It's so sporadic and like
All of
all
it.
over
So
the
what?
place.
What is that? So what is it that somebody can do? Because that's the cool,
He's a
interesting
wordsmith.
thing with but with
And like Tyler
with
would say,
even
words are
this-
spelling, and people who can
Words
use
He was
are
words
also
spells.
a broken
words are
person.
spells and all that. But what I'm saying is like with media, if he was alive today,
oh, he'd be so censored.
do you think? Yeah,
He
but
killed himself.
But well, okay. But when it comes to, you think he would be doing a podcast?
It'd be fascinating.
If he was born in this
I
format
hope
of
so.
era, yes.
I sure hope so.
But how many people would you have to fucking like just wade through
I don't
to
know.
get
Actually,
to him?
being a great writer doesn't necessarily mean you're a great talker
Or a person?
or able to hold a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't know.
Look at me.
Maybe
I'm a phenomenal writer.
You made me snot on the microphone almost.
Dude, when I spell, right?
yeah.
Get ready to read, boys.
Oh my God.
What does that mean?
I don't think, no. I think if he was born today, Hunter S. Thompson wouldn't exist in the way that he did. I think a part of who he was and his fuck you attitude is more of a time
He'd
era
be staggering
than a
around down on
capsule.
3rd and Pike
And
with
also-
a fucking heroin needle hanging out
Also,
of his arm.
he was a fucked up person, and most of great literature comes from people that struggle. Just the idea we always say try and be hard because it creates integrity and resilience and gives you something of a story to tell about your life. I don't think that would have existed, and it's something that we're seeing lost. To have good literature that's long and lengthy, I mean, the biggest things that sell are like Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey, the shit that just emotionally
garbage.
hits quick.
Yep.
I
The
feel
thing-
we're all on the edge of a fucking great struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're. It's,
Look at our economy. Look at everything.
This
It
nation,
doesn't take
This
yeah.
empire is collapsing. Rome is burning.
At least you get a heads up on it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being a Roman? Imagine being a Roman citizen. They're like, hey, there's a lot more crime. There's garbage everywhere. Politics seem to be weird. They're probably like, hey, the fucking wall. See, the emperor has no clothes. Everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
We're just seeing it
All
in
of our
real
childhood
time.
stories are coming true. The emperor has no clothes. The walls of Rome are burning. It's all coming true. It's going to be a time for tough people.
It's gonna be fun.
I had a lot. I actually, when I picked up all
eyebrows.
this podcast equipment, Greg and I sat down and talked for about half an hour about exactly that and what we think is coming.
Well,
And it's Mother Nature is going to correct, because if you walk around our society right now, you will find a lot of people who take up a lot of resources and do not contribute. Mother Nature always corrects. Something's coming.
yeah.
You think like a natural disaster, asteroid, volcano?
I have no idea what it
crazy
is.
storm.
That
You
animal
think it's going
sense.
to be that compared to people?
Rocks don't have an animal sense, but every animal with a sixth sense.
Fuck you, dude. They have a
This
seventh
guy.
or maybe an eighth sense. They can hear you right now.
They're crying.
But you think it'd be more likely?
Everybody's spidey sense is tingling.
Yes, agreed. I agree with that. But you think it's more likely to
Where's
be
that
natural
come from, Mike?
or
Explain that one with
human?
science.
Is it human? Oh,
That's the divine matrix, my
no.
guy.
Oh, let's do our own divine matrix.
motherfucker.
Let's compare this. This is a beautiful analogy based off of this kind of thing, but they never made the point. If you watch a lot of shows about prison,
One of the ways they failed in this book.
yeah, let me tell you another
Prison
problem.
sex.
Well, that's the problem. Is I think this was such a tantalating like subject for Mike, and then it didn't deliver on what he
Nothing.
wanted. He wanted it.
Nothing.
He's got blue
It's-
balls.
yeah,
he was so close to coming.
He
just
clicked
couldn't get there.
on the porn
I
that
just
didn't have a cum
edged
shot.
for fucking
Clicked on a
2 weeks.
They
dude.
didn't
Poor
show
guy's
the
been
holding
edging.
it in.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Think about prisons. You watch any show, and they're always like, we know when a stabbing or a riot or something bad is going to happen. What is that? That's a collective consciousness over the yard saying, I can predict something.
Well,
I
how
can
many times
see.
has Tobin and Greg talked about when it's like, oh, somebody's got a bad feeling on us?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
But that bad feeling also never happens without other people.
Yes.
If you're
100%.
constantly by yourself
But
with
that,
no
again,
one
that
out
shows
there.
there's some sort of connection.
So,
whether
yes.
whether it's common consciousness or God, whatever we want to call it is like whatever. There is a common. Whether it's a grid or an energy. You know what I mean?
Do you think it could be just radar? Like, remember during Jordan's book? No. Just, I say radar as a metaphorical sense, like an antenna or a satellite dish. You just have a form of, you're picking up on someone else's radar. Like, what these experiences and what it is just
we all have this
aware
sense,
of
and there's a
humans.
sense that everybody
Yeah.
has, and
Yeah.
we don't know what that.
So
sense
here's another
is.
theory.
We'll call it the divine matrix.
Yeah.
But that sense is tingling, or we everybody shares it.
Did you just point at your wiener?
Yeah, and it feels
Everyone shares it?
thick and large for the ladies listening, except my cousin. Sorry, Heather.
Oh my god!
But you know,
Sorry, not sorry.
yeah. That's the whole thing, right?
Learned something about the Creek family today.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I think that we all have that feeling of just dread that's coming, and everybody's sharing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means besides something's coming. I mean, I roll up and Tobin's like, "What?" As I roll up to you today, we saw each other on the freeway, and then I roll my window down. And he's like, "Just picked up some apocalypse food." And it's like,
Hey, yeah, following up our episode with Brent, the whole point of that was getting my house ready once I moved in. So yeah, today I made a Winco run on the way home from work and just bought a shitload of canned food, just canned vegetables and canned beans and.
There is, but that's what I want to do. It's like that same feeling people have. It's like something seems off, and it's like, does it seem off because it's like it's just a natural hair sticking up on the back of your neck, or does it seem off because of how the world's been lately and where we've come from? Is that a collective consciousness? Is just you're recognizing on other people?
So what I was going to say is
recognizing?
another interesting theory is that in order to entangle two particles, I don't even know. I've never been able to find anything that describes how they entangle two particles before they separate them to then see this sort of quantum relationship between
polarity. It's all polarity. It's and that's why I said is it
Well,
electrons or
so back to the
electric?
Big Bang
You're reversing
theory.
polarity.
At some point before time existed, we were all part of the singularity, which means that we were all connected. So we would all, literally every particle, every atom that ever is, was, or will be, was all part of one thing. So all of its polarity would have been the same. So that literally everything is entangled. So that if you believe in the Big Bang or if you believe in God, once creation expanded, once the Big Bang expanded, now everything is forever entangled because during the point of the singularity or the point of like in Genesis when it says first there was darkness and then God looked upon it or whatever, moved upon the waters and created the light, right? Either it's two descriptions of the exact same fucking thing, which is wild. If you go back and read Genesis and then read about the Big Bang, it's like, yeah, they're talking about the same goddamn thing. But
technology.
either way, whether you want to call it the Big Bang or whether you want to call it pre-creation, everything was part of the singularity. So it's all entangled. So every atom, every particle is entangled across the universe, and that's why we have this collective.
But I think
this connection to everything.
Anytime a molecule moves closer to another one, it's putting a certain pressure on it, right? Like
sure, that's electromagnetic force.
Exactly. So with all of that, anytime anything moves, whether it be your thought creating that or anything else, that is doing something, right? That's the rock that you see that gives you a feeling of I can use this. That's the I am being positive. You feel I don't have to talk right. I know how I fucking sound. I don't have to talk good for you guys to want to hang out, right? Because you guys know what energy I'm bringing you. Like I'm not here bringing you negative.
We did have to
energy,
work on you saying fucking every other word.
Fucking shit, dude. Like, but. And I felt that.
Wait till hunting.
I listened to that.
Wait till hunting.
I listened
We'll
to
set a record.
that Gregg podcast, and I felt bad. I was
Did
like, fucking fuck. That me and my dad almost fucked that motherfucker up, and that. I felt like a jackass.
Fucking Jerry over here.
Oh, dude, so bad. I need to apologize to him. But yeah, he ain't gonna get it. But
you got Greg hard.
There's a certain yeah,
dude.
The divine
you
matrix,
come in
dude.
with a story like that, dude. That's Greg's fucking
Bread and
unicorn
butter, dude.
candy, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, his eyes, he was feasted.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. He enjoyed it,
dude. Well, I thought we were gonna. Me and I can't say that. I thought me and my dad were gonna like beat the shit out of that guy. I was super excited. But anyway, there is. Everybody has this like field around them, and he gets into that a little bit of like positivity and vibes. We call it vibes, but it's really just like
That's the way you're coming across.
yes, but that's also like if somebody's willing to like actually look at you and like feel your vibe or your vibration, right? That's the energy field you're putting out, like the crazy hippy dippy, tones that we're talking about that are frequencies that are things that truly does happen and matters. And everything is putting that out, whether it be an inanimate object or not, it's still putting those things out. I'm still trying to say rocks have feelings. So.
Yeah, I would say that because it's like, think about the vibe you get if you are all by yourself and you're walking through like the jungle and you came across a waterfall and like these beautiful trees and a little sandy beach. Or think about it if you're like in a lava flow field of World War II or something about to fight and it just looks like the far side of the moon. Yeah.
It's gonna
that is going to set the emotional tone.
Mm-hmm.
And is that you inflecting what you think upon this, or do certain things provide you a sense of reality and existing and provide that? I do think that's a good argument for saying that maybe consciousness, things like a rock could give it, or a tree sets off a higher level.
What's fire? Is fire alive?
No, Jordan.
Then what?
It's not a biological entity.
Is it not?
No.
Fire is
plants,
a rapid,
plants, animals, and fungus.
Does it die?
What?
Fire?
It's a chemical reaction. So what you're seeing?
It's an oxidation.
Yeah. What you're seeing in the flames is actually visible
Yeah,
light.
this guy.
Yeah, here we go. So that chemical reaction gives it's an exothermic reaction when it oxidizes.
'Cause I know.
And it gives off energy, and some of that energy sends out wavelengths of the red, yellow, white, blue color visible spectrum. And that's why you see flames.
Yeah.
So
And feel heat.
And feel heat, but
And
like I said, it's an exothermic reaction.
Once that's over, though, but what happens around fires?
Drink beer.
Drink beer, but also you get a certain feeling around a fire.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It gives you almost
Yes.
more
You
of a
never feel
feeling.
lonely around a campfire.
And some people need it.
And that's providing that experience.
Everybody needs it.
That fire is giving you.
Do you think
that.
it's because
So
you're watching?
I guess
positive.
maybe
Do you think
I
it's
shouldn't-
because you're watching your? It's almost like a funeral pyre of a dead biologic, right? You're watching a
These
tree.
poor
You're
sticks.
you're
This
burning
pine
a tree
cone.
that was once conscious. So
Yeah.
maybe you're releasing its energy. That life energy is coming from that tree.
Maybe, and maybe that's such a powerful way of doing it because you're seeing it go from one thing to carbon
Yeah,
instantly.
But it's changing your vibration too.
for real.
Because it is through
Well,
heat.
everybody
It's your
again,
vibration.
it's a reaction. It's giving off
yeah,
energy.
yeah.
because
right?
everybody's so close to it,
Yeah.
we are literally pulling that energy into our own self.
And that's an experience.
Fucking
Fire has
shit.
consciousness.
Fire matters, dude.
Dude, negative Nancy over
I've
here.
been
I
saying
thought
no.
he gave
I
us
like
the
this
woo-woo
idea.
book.
Oh shit!
Right?
You know what? And
Yeah.
I'll say this.
And
I'll say
another
this.
thing.
I know the problem. I know the problem here because Tobin was very, very excited about this book.
Yes.
and it was a good book. So
hang on. I was lukewarm on it.
No.
No.
You were fucking so.
Yeah, it's on the book
You
report.
loved it. You loved it.
It's on the what?
Book report.
What is?
This book.
This.
No, yeah. No, it was my choice.
Yes,
it's
we
a-
know
And I was,
that. We know
I was
that.
stoked a chapter in, and I sent it to you guys, and I finished it lukewarm.
I thought it was good. I liked the feeling it gave me. It was the in between the lines of this book were
Or actually, let me say
that was the fucking where it was came alive.
yes. And what I got excited about was all the studies cited that actually show some of the actual physics that correlates with the woo-woo. And I agree with Mike that he made his own argument was very weak. But I did enjoy.
You got the feeling you got his vibe.
He was at church. This is religion for certain people. And even
I can
scientists
100% see
have
that. Yes,
religions.
yes.
And
Yeah,
like
it's
when
called
there's
science and dogmatic motherfucking behavior.
And if you don't believe what's written in the book, fuck you.
Yeah. But when you can't explain something scientifically, or just like it's part of this fucking crazy thing we can't explain.
But
what do you call it, Mike?
But this is
You
but
call
that-
it the divine
we
matrix.
call it the
divine
woo-woo.
matrix. But it turns into religion. That's why I find it interesting the difference to delineate between like science and religion.
But I think there's a lot of people who realize that there's so much that science can't define, and because they can't define it, they just sort of they just pretend it doesn't exist.
Those are bad scientists.
And we are overrun with bad scientists.
Yes. Well,
And-
there's a lot of dogma happening.
Yeah, and
right
so
now.
I do.
I love saying dogma.
Yeah,
Do
I
you?
do too. It feels
Feels right.
shit.
Well, alls I know is it's pretty cool that God allowed this guy to figure this out. And
so divine, yeah.
Oh my god.
and
Jordan.
you know,
All right, hang on.
Let's
what are we
take
at?
Let's take
Pee
halftime.
break.
Let's take
Yeah.
halftime. Here we go.
This book.
yeah.
All right,
you
we're
end
back.
up building
Go ahead,
that.
Jordan.
You build the legend around to somebody.
We missed.
And then next
I
thing
can't
you
believe
know,
we didn't record Sid Woodcock.
Sid Woodcock's in it.
We fucked up. You know what? You
But-
did not put on your headphones until now, and had you put on your headphones, I would have known to hit record.
That's on me though.
Yeah.
But look up Sid Woodcock because like there's some legitimate shit there, as far as writings go. And he did truly invent. I think it's called the Dextonic. It's like
Self-lubricating gun
self-lubricating gun
paired with KY.
that you can. Yeah, you just spit it in a couple times and you're good to go.
I got a self-lubricating gun.
Yeah, dude. It's been working just fine for the last fucking 18 years, dude.
Fuck you, Sid.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time it fucking
Yeah, but that's
unloads.
It's like, at what point does that guy go into? Like I said, everything's a cult. It's like, what level of cult? Like, once
Well-
again, do you think cults in the beginning were just a group of people hanging out?
How do you
the
think-
consciousness of the idea of a cult, say it's your
Well, this goes
Akashic
back- hang on.
records or anything. No, but say it's this cult.
I'm agreeing
and to
with
have
you.
your first cult, then you're going to have more cults. And you won't have a murderous cult within your first 20 years of ever having a cult.
Yeah.
But within your first 5,000 years of having cults, maybe you'll have murderous cults. Now, maybe that's just randomness over time, and eventually you would have a murder cult. But maybe also the
Fuck is a
idea...
murder cult?
murder cult.
Are we talking about like
Just the existence. The idea of ideas. Does
like
idea
a
have
Jesuit
consciousness?
a Jesuit cult?
Any cult.
Is that a cult?
But anything's a cult. Knitting, a group of old
Yeah, the
ladies
Catholic Church
knitting
is a cult.
is a cult.
Yep.
Yeah, Catholic Church is a cult. Old ladies knitting is a cult. They form their own groups, their bonds, their ties, and what people are into, and other
Science
people
is a
want to
cult.
draw. But usually they want to join that cult because of progress. They see something getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everything from your Democrats
That's why,
to
it's why people join
Republicans
the
are.
gym. The gym is a cult. right?
But we're getting better. You see people that excel. If Daniel was a piece of like garbage grappler, you know, people would come to the gym and they're like, give us your black belt. And we gave them a fucking wimpy ass nothing.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, there's nothing to this. Because there is a high caliber, that means you have to continually raise the bar, but those people are working. This cult's constantly growing in a little bit.
Well, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about again with the rats and the first rat to make it through the maze and elevating that knowledge and awareness into the collective. I was about to ask, how do you think a cult starts? Like, how do you get? I see how you get members. Hang on, I see how you get members number 101, 102, but how do you get members number 1 and 2? Because it's hard to get the first couple of people. Once people come in and see other people buying off on it, then it's easy to get their buy off because they see a group
lonely
buying
people.
off. But how do you get the first 1 or 2 people to get
think
them
that's
to buy
where
off?
you see a
That's
hierarchy,
the real trick.
and
But
that's where you see a hierarchy in cults, and that's why you see like, oh, he was the leader, but then he had his disciples, and then underneath them. So all of a sudden, you have people that are willing to buy in, and they say the more you buy in, the more they'll buy in. And they know that subconsciously. So all of a sudden you have this guy who's starting to like kind of create this thing, and then all of a sudden underneath him is a fucking umbrella of the number ones. And then after that, once those people buy in and they seem legit, then all of a sudden a bunch of people the more people are willing to buy in, the more people are willing to buy in.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So when you have, that's the key, I think, is somebody like basically saying, or not saying openly, but creating a fucking situation of like, hey, these people are legit. Why wouldn't, if they're into it and they believe in it, it makes it, that is what makes it acceptable for the masses.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where that begins. So the key is not the first or second, it's in the top 5.
Okay.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And then after that, when those people seem like they're with it and legit and everything's clicking, then all of a sudden it opens it up for everybody else.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is getting those original 5 or however many.
I think people.
They all have the same. They all have the same vision.
But
They all
cults,
have the same vision, and you push one forward, and you go, "He is the one," and then that's it.
but I think cults have been around because for so long people were without people. This recent growth and connectivity we've seen is of the last 20 years. Before that, and think 100 years and thousands of years before that, people were random. Lands were undiscovered. The idea of seeing another person and maybe being lonely and having someone hang out with you is a good thing. So if you can have...
Can cults be a good thing?
So, but yes.
Yes.
We have a mini cult.
The gym
Oh,
is
It's
shit.
the level.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
God,
what I'm saying. There are levels to cults.
Because there's a very huge, and unfortunately, I'm realizing this just now, and I'm going, you know what? You're right. And I just explained myself in an umbrella situation. Oh, shit. Fuck. Here we are, guys. Well, join. It's been great so far.
This weekend, we're going to the mall to sign up people for the leader guy.
The benefits have been great.
Yeah.
No, but with that, the positivity that comes out of it, and like at that point, like if you throw caution to the wind, though, all of a sudden you're following
Now
blindly.
we're getting to it. Yes. That's
Some-
the gun
some
guy,
sort
though.
of a fucking
people
leader.
that touch him and fall over. What creates the point of which a cult or like an idea becomes not like something of questioning your life, using it as a tool or a tape measure to measure in the way that the way life works? What if you blindly believe something so intensely that it becomes a doctrine?
You're talking
that
about COVID now, right?
Yeah. So that shooter guy that's like, people touch me and they fall over. Well, now explaining this is just giving into fantasy. You're not using a measuring tape Now you're just giving into an idea of something, and that's where true cult takes over. And that what creates you to be that person. Because the cult master knows that there is a facade. The cult master is the one that holds the curtain. It's the magician. It's the magic show. And he knows what's really happening, and he's creating something. Like, so you can create a cult in a little bit of a way out of positivity and doing something better and gathering like-minded people. But then the biggest cults you see is cults that take advantage of people. Cult can be religion. Cults can be government. Cults can be book clubs.
Science.
Knitting clubs with old ladies being bitches to another old lady because they're not in that cult yet.
See, but it's so weird to have it explained as cult because cult has such a negative connotation.
No, but cult is culture. That's where the word comes from.
I don't know where it comes from, but it sounds very fucked up when all of a sudden I find out I'm in the middle of a goddamn cult.
You are.
Live on air. Yeah. Live on.
Dude, you just have to kill your father, dude. Just kill him and you'll get enlightenment.
That's not happening. That's not fucking happening.
Stepdad?
Not even.
Dog.
We're talking now. we're on the precipice of.
How about a turkey? Dude, do you want to work your skills? You want to talk about a beak lock or a snout lock?
Oh, dude, I'll fucking the old.
I got a turkey for you.
Yeah, choke the shit out of a turkey, dude. I'll do it. I'll do it today, tonight.
But it's cult. Cult is culture, and that's what it is. It's like a collective of group, and group instantly leads to better group. That's just why. Like, it's an interesting question when you say, like, what does it take to get the first couple people? But all it takes for anything, a business, your first couple sales and more rolls in. Why? Because word of mouth. Because you're transforming the reality around you. That's what culture is change. That's what life is, I think, is change. That's why energy, when Jordan said fire, I think can have
And I think that's why some people don't think rocks or have consciousness is because it takes so long for them to change. But maybe they have the most dense consciousness.
But a rock is not a rock. People say rock and you think rock forever, but a rock is a temporary
It's
thing.
moving. It's moving through.
Give it a million years. Give it a billion years.
I will be a rock in a trillion years for sure. I will at some point I'm going to die. My body will become just
you
dirt.
break down. You become the
dirt.
particles,
and
the elements.
after the dirt I'm going to become a rock.
Right. And your life force will have gone up into higher consciousness, I think. I don't think your life force will have gone into the dirt and into the rock. When you die, your life force goes back to consciousness. So you think there's a God
and
the physical energy is released probably in the form of heat.
Okay,
I don't know if there's a God.
Because
but
if you die and you have a piece of you that travels to another place. No, if you die and you have a piece of you that travels to another place, then that means there's a matrix. There's a fucking creator.
Yeah,
divine matrix.
Yeah.
Fucking good book, huh, brother?
I'm
not even sure it travels. There is significant, or not significant.
It has to go somewhere.
There's evidence that your brain and nervous system may be an antenna. Like rather than your memories and consciousness is stored in your body, that it's somewhere else and it's being broadcast to you. Because a neurologist cannot tell you where is consciousness.
Well,
like if you say, hey, where in the body is consciousness? They'll be like, we don't know.
You have two forms. The first is like your central, like your brain, the primary. Your central nervous system, like your brain and
that's the hardware.
Cortex.
Yeah, but then the rest is like your organs. Yes. So your body has a consciousness. No. Okay, so this is it. Here we go. This is into the book. So you're tapping into the two. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about pooping. You don't have to think about purifying your blood.
Like autonomic nervous system.
Yes. You don't have to. Okay. So, but the more you can get in tune with that through certain things like breathing and honing in on one particular skill, I do think jiu-jitsu is a form of meditation because you have to focus so solely on one thing that you pay no attention to anything else. Sure. And you develop a better body awareness and sense of proximity in existence that
Lots of sports like downhill mountain biking's like that.
Yeah,
you can only pay
anything
attention
you
to
get
one
good
thing.
at and
Yes.
you really dive into it. So you have two different forms of consciousness. You have your body that you can sense into, and you have this higher level of consciousness, which is the mind. Okay? That is where the meld happens. Like, consciousness for us is so tied with emotion. When we were talking about being positive and it gives you an outlook, that's because those are the two. We suffer as humans or as animals with the idea that we have emotion, we have urges, we have a lot because of our hormones and who we are.
Yeah,
a
where are
fucking
they,
17-year-old is going to be different than a fucking 50-year-old or a 60-year-old mentally because of what makes them. But you're still having an overlap between the local and the external, right? So if the external is, I mean, the two have to be in harmony to exist. Okay. Otherwise, you'll kill yourself or it's not going to live
What I'm
right.
saying is, where are they? Like, point to your body where they exist. And we can't, because we don't know where consciousness and emotions exist. And again, what I think is that consciousness from which we all have a piece of, maybe broadcasting into your physical body, almost like an avatar.
But isn't it interesting how the older you get, it seems like you care a little less
about
certain things?
Yeah, it's called letting go.
Like you let go of a lot of stuff.
Hang on a minute.
And then as you get older, you ever meet the grandpa who's just like, hey, I don't even care about life anymore. Like, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, but that's
I'm
usually
done.
lack of life when you're at that
But
point.
I mean, but even the one who's
You can have someone
with it
stoic
still,
being like, I've lived and I've
still,
had my experience,
and this was worth it, and they look at death.
I'm happy.
And they go,
I've lived the
I
life.
have done it, and I'm ready
But that's
for
a
whatever
fulfilled
comes.
person.
It's a
Yes.
fulfilled person, but there's a big difference between how they face life and then the next process of their decomposition into earth. What happens next, right? Like, as their body breaks down, it's still kind of grasping onto creating and still doing something. And then, because when you're young, you're really vibrant and you're moving and you're doing all this stuff, and you slow down and you start slowing down, you start slowing down, you start slowing down. And then when your body breaks down, it starts slowing down even more.
And
right?
that's your consciousness.
But your body's still
body.
your body's still providing nutrients to the earth in some way, and then at some point it calcifies and it becomes a rock.
Shut up, dude. You actually did hit a really good point, though. Like,
you lost me 6 minutes ago.
Oh, my bad, dog.
Yeah, no. Bullshit, except for one thing. You did bring up a good point, which is, like, if you're young and you're vibrant and then you're old and you're decrepit, like, your physical body and your higher level thinking cognitive, to talk to Joe Biden about time space is not going to be a good fucking conversation at this moment, because not only his body but his mind is deconstructed. It's old. It's worn. As you get old,
Does
your
that just
mind
mean
breaks
that
down.
The transmitter receiver is
But
old and worn?
You're saying, where is consciousness? Yes. So what is consciousness? At least we know it's in your fucking head.
No, we don't. We just know maybe the antenna is.
dude.
I know it's
down.
not my
Wild
foot.
shit, you're
You
saying
chop off
wild
my
shit.
foot,
You're
I can
saying
still
wild
think.
shit.
I can still think, though.
Can you?
You chop off my foot.
Can you, though?
I
Will you
might
be the
have
same person?
phantom
No.
syndrome.
Will you be the same person? No, you will not. You will fucking lose your essence. I guarantee you that. You will not be the same
Let's
exact
find
person. You cut both your legs off. It takes a strong person.
Yeah.
The amount of people who lose the fucking mobility of their fucking
No,
legs,
that's not
Guess
cha-
what? All of a sudden they're fucking.
But that's called life. That's called reacting to it.
Is that in your hips?
But that doesn't
is that your
lose-
conscious? No, you become your mind shifts to a fucking negative place, and that's why
Okay,
everybody looks
but-
at somebody who is, oh look, he lost his foot and he's being so
Yeah.
positive about it, and that's why people notice it.
Yes,
that's why
but
people look
hang
at it and
on.
go, "Oh my God, look at what he's overcoming." Because most people, when they think about it, they go, "He lost his foot and he's going to become a negative
getting the
little
coach's
bitch."
speech
And then
right
all of a
here.
sudden,
Coach.
I'm
I'm getting the coach's
Sit down and
pep
shut the
talk.
fuck up.
But
Coach
that's
is talking.
but that's the fucking thing, right? All of a sudden,
No.
people notice, and they go, well,
But-
he overcame the adversity of losing his foot.
But-
and because the fact of the matter is when you do that, you got two options. You can be negative or you can be positive.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yes.
You can change.
So, Mike,
But-
make your point, and then I'm going to shoot it down.
Okay.
Oh, am I just
But-
fucking...
No, you're not.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
But
Mike's going to say, but.
the fact that you can either get over that foot being cut off and you can overcome it and become better, or that foot gets cut off and you become a piece of shit. One of the guys was able to overcome it. So even though your foot's off, you still have the wherewithal and the mental ability
You
to
lost
get better.
part of your soul.
You
does your soul stay
you had
together,
adversity.
or does it fucking deplete over time? Does your soul? Do you know
Yeah.
that your soul and your fucking everything stays together, or does it fucking dissipate? It dissipates.
So what he's going to say is that when you cut off the head, you,
I understand
you
what he's
eliminate, and
fucking
then,
saying.
And then what I'm going to
I'm
say
not
is,
fucking
what if? Hang
retarded
on.
here.
What if your brain is just an antenna?
Yes, that's why I always say.
So
that
consciousness
book of
may
Jordans
not
were
be in your head.
Antennas.
Consciousness may be out there somewhere, and you just have an antenna that receives it.
Yeah, but then if you're born with an antenna and you can't use it, what's the fucking point? Or then if you're born without an antenna, what's the fucking point?
Lots of people have fulfilling lives as liberals, Mike.
Dude, did you
hear what he just said? This fucking guy. Oh my God. He's funny fucking guy, dude. Read another book, faggot. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Oh Lord.
hippie buck, dude.
Enlightened Neanderthals, guys.
Hippie buck.
No, I got a question for you guys. And let's change pace.
Yeah.
Let's change
do
the
it.
fucking
And then I was
Clear-
like,
clear the
maybe I've never even been to Mount Vesuvius, and maybe this is all in my head because I've been drinking peyote for the last 2 days, and you know what? It was.
and it was.
And then I was here at this table with you guys. Jordan, what were we talking about?
Okay. So, if you had the ability to like be a time traveler,
Yeah.
right? You could go anywhere
Pirate.
at any time,
Yeah.
present or
Good question.
future. You had 3 fucking moves you could make.
This is interesting because
Present or future, no past?
Present,
Oh.
no, the present, or I'm sorry, yes, past, future, present.
Okay.
You could move
Wherever
and
you
you could
want.
move when, right? So you could put yourself, and it's
Yeah.
on the globe.
Yep, I got you.
Where would you go, and
Okay,
what
hang
would
on.
you do?
There's a deeper level to this, which is that
I-
it's easy to pick a past situation because we know history, but you can't, we have no idea what's future. So it's all, if we say we're picking a future situation, it's all make believe, whereas past will be historically based.
You're throwing a dart in the dark.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right,
But-
Mike, go ahead.
I would love to see the pyramids.
and you think you know the past.
The construction of the pyramids.
Yeah, I think that's
As you
an
think you know
interesting-
it. What if you went back 5,000 years and you're like, fuck, they're already here?
Well, no,
Yeah.
no.
But that's
so,
what
so
I
that's
mean,
the
like-
thing is you get to choose would you choose the beginning, the mid? Would you choose the end when they
beginning.
when they got their fucking?
I want to see the city council back there that's like, all right, guys, I got a planning. We're going to start making some giant pyramids. We're
480
taping
ton
off
blocks.
this walkway. And like everyone
Yeah.
out there
Somebody get some
starting to
caution tape up, goddammit.
Dude, the breaking of the ground. It's like, wow, they built the pyramids.
They're
It's like,
cutting
this is
giant
really
scissors out there.
happening. Yeah. Giant sword.
some
Ah!
guy with a fucking a copper fucking shovel,
Jackhammer.
just fucking first fucking thing.
We got this ribbon from a quarry 500 miles away.
You know what would be interesting is to be there with whatever the first human was. Whether it's the Adam and Eve story or
You mean
evolution.
Africa?
First Homo
Like the
sapien.
yeah.
Or the Garden of Eden.
I'm not excited. There's enough fossil record.
For
I'm
what?
not excited.
No, there isn't. There's a missing link.
Why?
There's,
Yeah,
there's not enough fossil record.
Dude,
There's a whole lot of
tons
fucking
missing
questions.
link, but there's so much history.
Okay. So you guys are fucking.
We're going to
this
the same
all up,
goddamn
dude.
argument again.
So where would you go? Year? Give me a year. Give me a
An event.
an event. You can give me an event. So you're
I mean,
saying the
that
beginning of the
pyramid thing
pyramids
would be crazy to see.
the beginning of the pyramids, like the guys that were like, "Hey, you know what? We're going to do this right here," or the thing.
Yes. No, I
Yeah,
would
just
want to
so
see
that-
the height of the Egyptian
Because that's
Empire.
a crazy
Okay,
thing.
so the height
It's
of the
a
Egyptian
Yes.
Empire. So when shit was rocking,
rock structures, megalithic.
Yeah. Was
rock
she as hot as
structures?
we all think she was?
Who?
As my
Cleopatra?
Cleopatra.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Was she a smoke
She
show
wasn't
or was
around
she a
when-
no-go?
Pyramids
she,
were there
She was the only
before
10.
her.
She was the only 10. Because
Really?
there
You think so?
there can only be one.
Oh, shit. This
Let's
guy.
be
Had to-
honest. She
it
was
had
the
to have been her.
Instagram
Okay.
for.
It's either her
So-
or the.
so
She was
who
the
it?
Instagram
It was either
for-
her or Helen of Troy.
Okay, so a quick fucking. You guys are both off to a quick traveling the same fucking space and place. Where would be your next go?
Throughout time and history.
I'd want
Anywhere.
to
Or
go to
future.
Babylon,
Where's
Bab-
Babylon? Talk to me about
Iraq,
Babylon.
just south of Baghdad. I'll show you a picture. I've been to
It's
the
one
gates.
in the 5 wonders of the original
Yeah.
world is the hanging gardens of
Hanging
Babylon.
Gardens.
What? Tell me more.
It's one of the early
Babylonian
Mesopotamian
cities?
cities, and it was like a center for trade. It was King Nebuchadnezzar was
Before or
had
after
Nebuchadnezzar.
the pyramids?
after. No,
just
before.
checking.
Before. Yeah, because this is
Timeline's
we're going
getting fucked.
early
That's
Not such a
civilization.
fucking funny question now, is it, Tobin? Fucking laughing.
Here's the real question: when do you? I actually believe it would be after the pyramids. However,
When it was at its height?
Yeah, it depends on
I'm
what
going to
you're
say the
asking.
pyramids might be as much as 12,000 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
stone structures are kind of maybe. I would
Okay.
say yeah.
Maybe even older, maybe 15,000 years old.
Copy that.
gonna say
that,
pre-Ice Age.
that means nothing to me. But because people throw out these big numbers and they're like, oh, 12,000, 15,000. It's like, dude, you know
Well,
what?
it's the younger Dryas event.
Forever.
That's what
Oh,
causes that.
there you go.
That
So
one.
the erratics.
12,800 years old.
Yeah, dude, erratics,
All right.
You should've
So
just said-
we got. I want to travel to Egypt. Mike agrees.
Yeah.
We both want to see that. Mike and I are going on. We should go. We should
You
get
guys
here
are-
on like a fun.
You guys are like a timeshare fucking. You guys don't get
This ties into our first
2
our
weeks,
first breakfast
every
date.
March.
a couple of gay boys here, dude. No wonder I feel like a third wheel in this fucking podcast. My God.
So we're going to Egypt. Then we're going to Babylon.
Okay, then your third. Then where's the? Are you going in the?
I mean, my
future? Are you
first was
going-
still just the pyramids. What else I do?
You
Babylon.
said first. No, he said Babylon.
Oh,
You agreed.
Babylon.
Are we not going on vacation together?
Yeah, we're going. We're going. Okay,
Couple
sorry.
gay boys
it's a
here,
world
dude.
tour. Something I always say is like,
Do you?
yes, a lot.
He goes,
Regularly.
I do. Thank God Danielle's not here. She would give you an earful. Yes, I say this a lot. It's cool that I can see what happened before me, but a part of dying that really fucking freaks me out is to not be able to see what I will miss,
Yes.
like what the
FOMO.
future will really become. So
Yes.
asking this question is nice because it's like, dude, what is the world really going to become? Is it going to become Biff and Marty McFly
No.
in the
Well,
future with
yeah.
certain things like that, or is it beyond something we could ever see? The
I
way
have a feeling
internet
you'll be
and
aware.
phones have affected culture and teens and personalities, I would not have seen this in 2010. That I would say, who young teens growing up I graduated in 2002. Right? So like what I thought people were and friends around me and just seeing other teens in just kind of mentality, I feel it's much different than today in certain ways in the politics that people have to grow up with. And that's changing what I think reality is and culture is. So not only is it like the technology, but it's like, how does that consistent growing and compounding of these realities, like how does that shape the mentality of the people? And so I do think about the future. It's like it'll be technologically nuts, but what will the people be like? Like that movie Demolition Man
really-
with Sylvester Stallone, where they use the shells to wipe and like high fives are illegal because physical contact. Like what creates society? The persons.
It's interesting to think that, and then like we will have somewhat of an effect because they will be able to look back on this.
Yeah.
And hear what we're record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that will be preserved after we're gone.
It's
and
like Hitler,
but
and then
it's,
our podcast.
It's a yeah, no shit. CK, what?
Trumpcast got just blacklisted.
Someone will accidentally save it in the archives under Neanderthals.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
This is scientific information.
We
Dude,
need to keep
it becomes conspiracy.
Yeah, no shit. Could you imagine? Oh fuck. Okay, so you had Babylon.
Yep.
It was your last one, and what's your third?
I'm going to say into the future, but the reality is,
Since you're going,
how far do you know?
You boys
like,
are fucking.
It would be. Think about what has changed between
Know me
1924
fun? I'll say
and
this.
2024. If you could pull somebody who
You wouldn't want to tail that on with your boys or like when they're your age.
Million
when
years
they're-
from now, see
I'm
what Earth
hoping
is.
I'll still be alive when I'm their age,
Yeah.
or when they're my age.
No. I'm saying like when they are on their deathbed. And
No, I don't
see
think
what-
I don't think I'd want to be there.
Not be with.
Or maybe I
Yes.
would. Maybe
But just
I will be there in spirit.
See the Earth. There's a phenomenal, like maybe not phenomenal book, but there's a really good book that I read that's talking about souls and what happens with your soul as you leave the world or Earth or whatever, and like how, multiple people having, and then there's a hypnotist and all this shit that
No one
Because
can say.
how can someone write that book? Because if you're writing the book, your
People
soul has
that
not left.
drowned,
it-
people that have death experiences and brought
death
back to
experiences
life.
and all that.
This
And
is
their soul
this
didn't
is
leave.
a genre.
it is very.
This is a genre.
It is very.
There's likely
It's a good.
there's
it's a
commonalities among
really
these things.
Fucking cool.
If it gets you thinking, then it's a good book.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
What's it
gets
called?
You, I'll have to. I'll
Cool
have to get
story,
back to you.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, guys. That's my problem. Is
Touched by
all
an
feeling,
angel.
no fact. But that's why you guys love me, because I have this energy that we produce.
It's like a rock that we carry around as we're
and just put in your pocket.
has
You just take that
consciousness.
rock, you put it in your pocket, and you go, it's
Carry
my
it.
rock, and
gonna
it's here.
carry it,
And
yeah.
it's okay. It's okay to have. Okay. But, okay, so you had that. What's your third? I'm moving on, dude. I'm trying
go,
to
Mike.
keep
Where do I
keep
wanna
going
go
on this.
in the
Where's
world?
the...
All right, where do I want to go in a time?
Was it? And you guys just nailed it down. I'm fucking blown away that you guys had two right away.
I got more.
Yeah.
I got a few in the two.
Yeah, this is
buddy.
what this podcast is about. Is just
Yeah,
like,
but maybe
what
we
if?
change it from fucking 3 to 5. All of a sudden, we got to fucking move the marker because you guys are just like, pyramids, Babylonia, and in the future, dude. Of course. Duh. I wouldn't want to go be a samurai or see what like that was like in Japan.
These are
you
on the
fucking-
list.
You,
You would not want to,
no,
or you would want
no,
to?
I'm saying that's why I would fucking absolutely. That's my number
Yeah,
one.
going to
It's
Japan would be awesome.
Being in Japan when like the samurai were fucking training
Yeah.
and see what an actual samurai training
yeah.
camp looked like. Fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That would be the shit.
And I want to
Up
be
there
a fur
fucking-
trapper in North America in
Yep.
the early days. Yeah.
Or just see it.
No, these are. That's,
No,
so hang on.
I know,
This brings
like,
up another
thing-
good point, which is that a lot of these things that we glamorize and glorify are really fucking hard, and it was a hard, shitty way of life. And we, as modern day Americans, we'd be like, "I'm hungry and I'm so tired." Even guys like us who are fairly fit and strong, we aren't that kind
I'm a
of
bitch.
life strong. Like to be
I'm finding out more
like
and
these
more I'm a
these
bitch.
fur trapper frontiersmen who are out in the woods for 6 to 9 months at a time in the North American winter. You know what I mean? Like these guys just walked out into the woods and survived for
Well, even like
sometimes even years.
to think of like World War II, like think of Pelelius or think of battles in Germany, to be like to have a drone and like you could live, you're in a bubble that's bulletproof and you can just sit up there and like these moments that like our nations and our worlds are defined off of what were these actual things like so to see points in time throughout, like I do think about this a lot, like what is history, how did it unfold, the stories of what was Corona and COVID, like what was it really for the common person.
Do you ever feel like that you're on the precipice of like
Something big.
just too much technology, right? And do you think like when you look back and go, okay, like Hugh Glass time and the frontiersmen, do you think they were not understanding all the technology that was at their fingertips, and they felt the same way? Because I look back and I go, it was so simple then. It was like, keep your fucking...
Life was simple, yes.
Yeah, but do you think they felt the same way? Or do you think they were like, oh, there's these technologies and this
newfangled gunpowder.
Yeah, exactly. And then, as opposed to like where we're at now, where it's like, oh, honestly, like I don't know about computers and fucking... or like
I think we are far more overwhelmed today.
So I would love to go back to that, and that's where like
that was only like 1985.
But that's like that is the biggest. It really is like the.
It's interesting.
Born in
now go back 100 years
hang on.
from then.
One of the first
1885
computers.
you're
In fact,
living
the
in.
first personal computer was an Apple, right?
Yeah.
And what is the symbol of Apple?
Adam and Eve.
It's a
eating
bite out of the
fucking-
forbidden fruit. And look where it's led us.
Yeah.
It's also put us on the moon.
Are you sure?
Are you sure,
Are you
Mike?
fucking
Were you
sure,
there?
Mike, dude?
Were you fucking there?
I'm sorry, dude. I can't.
Look at that fucking
feel like that
footprint
used to
again,
be
my
the-
friend.
Christ.
That used to
How
be
come
like.
there's no fucking wind on that flag?
Yeah.
Who filmed it, by the way?
Yeah, that's true.
They got that right, but they couldn't get my brakes to not fucking seize up.
Yeah, no shit. Or
Are you
squeal.
kidding me?
Did you take your breaks to
Are you
NASA?
kidding me? Oh, dude, I fucking bashed my nose off that Nova so many goddamn times.
If anyone could put us on the moon, Nazi scientists could put us on the moon. Let's put it out there.
Dude, there's a lot
That's
of
NASA.
there's a lot of pro-Nazi shit I've heard from you tonight, Mike. And
I mean, it is interesting. I mean, look at what happened after World War II. I mean, that was NASA was the stealing of the fucking scientists, and Germans.
Was that
were
paperclip or
what's
which,
NASA stand for?
all those National National Association.
Aeronautical.
National Aeronautical
Nazi.
Space
Air and Space
Association.
Association. It's National Air and Space Association.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
Duh.
I think aeronautical sounds smarter though.
Aeronautical.
I'm gonna
sounds
change
nice.
it. I'm gonna write NASA.
Someone's
you guys.
listening to this is just shaking their head like, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, I think we're running out of gas.
Okay.
Hang on. You feel like going?
I mean, I feel like going to fucking maybe Germany
Yeah.
when
What year?
probably in the fucking early, I don't know, 1600s.
Oh, okay. I was afraid you were going to say early 1930s.
Actually, Jordan, could you imagine? You may bring up a good point. Could you imagine going to Oktoberfest in like
Oh my gosh,
1675 in
Well, that's the
Germany?
thing is like the fun.
Were they
the
still in a
fun
fuel
times.
system then, though? Was
Who
everybody
cares?
still
It
poor
sounds
serfs?
awesome.
Can't afford ale.
I want some cheese soup and a schnitzel.
Well, what do you think the best party ever was, as far as that goes? Like as far as like the
Caligula.
beer fest.
Caligula.
I
It's famous.
tell me more.
Vomitoriums.
Nope, I have no goddamn clue. What
You
you're
would
talking
eat
about.
so much food and you would gorge, and then you would go somewhere and they had these like copper vats that you would go purge and throw up so you could keep
Old Country
partying.
Buffet.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
located
pretty
in
much.
Kirkland.
That's called bulimia.
Yeah.
Orgies beyond belief. That, but that was it.
You're talking about Tuesday nights.
That was Caligula. Caligula was like this crazy. Was he Greek? Yeah.
Was it real?
Yeah,
Caligula. I thought he was a Roman emperor.
Roman, maybe.
Was he Roman?
Caligula.
I forget.
Was that in the downfall?
When Rome became...
I mean, when you're throwing up in vases and just
No.
fucking
But I mean,
everyone, you're not on a good
But
trajectory.
is that where we're at right now?
we were
Are we
there.
not there?
No. We were there 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Now we're in the downslide.
Oh, Caligula was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No,
That was sort of like
he was
the...
thousands of years.
Well, hang on.
No,
we were there in our
Guys,
Guys,
cycle.
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
you think in modern time, like repeating itself, because that's what happens.
Yeah, I think the U.S. peaked 10 years ago.
And
Or
that
t-
was
or ended
our
its peak
that
10
was
years
our
ago.
fucking orgy era.
Yeah.
We're in an era of excess without
Yeah.
purpose. Excess is fine if you know what
Yeah,
to
that's
do with it.
that's a perfect
but
way to
we're in
describe it.
excess without purpose. Therefore, everything has fallen to shit.
Yeah.
Leadership has been the first to suffer. And like I said, things are always trying to take over other things. The deer want to eat the grass, no matter how innocent the grass seems. And it's just, it's a weird time. It's happening. It's taking it all over because it doesn't know what to do.
It's ruinous. What do you say? Excess without
Purpose.
Purpose. Thank you. It's ruinous to a society, and we are there.
Excess is fine if you know how to mitigate it and how
And
to
if
pile it.
Well, and if you're working for it, and so you have skin in the game for it.
Yes.
But we have so many people who have no contribution to the excess, but yet they benefit from it, and that's what's tipping society upside down.
Yes.
Who are those people?
Welfare recipients and basically anybody who's on a social program.
No, the way the people are governed. Look up. It should be a collective that inspires, that works harder. Our government.
The
failed
American
us.
ideal used to be come here, work hard, make a life for yourself. Not come here, get born, graduate high school, get on state assistance, and basically like watch Netflix.
But also the government. I feel like it has
became
not
its own
enlifted.
entity.
What do you
Yes.
think? What do you think about the fact that, or maybe not a fact? I don't know. I wasn't there, but like in Seattle, where they're saying like the city hall was just like overrun the other day by the immigrants or the
City council meeting.
I think
Yes,
they're
I
paid
saw that.
protesters.
paid protesters. That's what
Would
you
be my
think.
guess. Yeah.
That basically were saying, hey, we want more than what we're getting.
I bet somebody paid them a couple
I don't
$100
know.
to go there and do that.
Also, if you walked
But they're
all
still
the way
they're still getting like there are supposedly, again, I haven't gotten seen, but in like New York, there's what, like 4 or 5 hotels.
Yeah.
That are-
that's
is
the
that
same in
real?
Seattle.
Chicago,
You think
New
that's real?
York,
Yes.
yeah, Colorado.
So what do you guys make of that? What's the deal with that?
I feel like this is
And
actually-
where are
It's,
they?
it's bad policy by idiot people who are not fit for leadership and yet are in leadership positions.
So if we got rid of those situations, where would that put us?
Meaning got
Meaning,
the
like-
people out of the hotel,
meaning
got rid of
all
those
of it.
leaders.
All of it.
Dude, it's a long road back. We are so far down that the road back is going to be long and hard. It's not going to be over in our generation,
Our lifetime, you mean?
our lifetime. It's going to be my kids will work at bringing us if it's even
Yeah, but look what
if
happened
we
with the
even
Great
start an
Depression and
upward
World War
trajectory.
II.
Yeah, we may need to bottom out, or we may become a Chinese fucking conscript or not conscript, but colony.
What happened
however-
to all the Romans after Rome fell?
They got absorbed into the country of Italy and Greece, and well, I mean, the Roman Empire was most of Europe.
Okay.
So it fell, and then it became
Countries took back
that is
over
when the
who they
medieval
were.
ages started.
Yeah.
That was the rise of the Catholic Church and the rise of the medieval ages. So Rome fell, the Catholic Church rose, and Europe plunged into the Dark Ages.
So when and if this happens, and it could happen, and all of a sudden we have it wouldn't be a year, it wouldn't be 2 years, it would probably be more like 15, 50 years.
Or
Somewhere in there,
or
right?
500.
Yeah.
And the U.S. would now become other, because I imagine if we fall, Canada falls.
Yeah. Canada's already fallen.
fucking-
They're under authoritarian rule.
Yeah, but
Depends who
still by
holds 'em up, though.
Canada, right?
They may fall as a people, but who holds them up?
Us.
That land
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
They're north
Us?
of us. They're
Hey.
north of us. That's gravity.
China.
This guy, fucking, we'll teach you, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Things fall from north to south.
Yeah, dumbass. But
Unless you're in Australia, then they fall from
yeah, the
south
other
to north.
yeah, they circle
everyone
just like
knows
your
that,
toilet
Mike.
water.
and swirls backwards.
Yeah. Explain that, teacher.
Anyway,
Revolution.
so then what? At that point, Mexico just continues on being great.
No, Mexico's already infiltrated by China.
Yeah.
The fear
Yeah.
is
Well,
is
that's
that
the thing.
It's already
Canada-
like it's
they're-
a Chinese
they're-
cartel.
Yeah, but
They're
conglomerate down
running.
there.
They're running by no rule because they don't care. So they're already doing it. So
Yes.
they have the leg up because they're fucking
is-
doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
They're doing what they need to do.
I have a fear that the United States is going to be balkanized, meaning you're going to have you might have like 5 or 6 independent little republics or nations rise as the United States sort of fractures apart along ideological lines.
The problem is manufacturing of things, right? Right.
Yeah,
like
it's everything.
Most of it's
though.
manufactured in China.
Well, that's what I'm.
But that's everything.
I mean,
what happens
that's
That's
what I'm
drugs,
saying. Like we need
yeah.
land in which to procure actual tangible things from the ground,
Okay.
No, you
Right.
go back old school.
from the guess what, the rock,
The conscious rock.
and then you turn that into something, and now you have an ability like. There are manufacturers in Washington that can give you almost everything you need, but we also don't have the resources.
They can't give you shit.
What do you mean?
You can't get a battery here. Like, think about how much with the things we really
The
rely on.
technologically, like, then that's where I wish we could just reset and go back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish we could just like say, hey, you know what? As of today, we're gonna turn off everything, and we're just gonna have our fucking shit. And
I think it's coming this year.
I fucking wish, dude. What do you mean? What are you shaking your head about?
Nature corrects.
I don't want to.
I just want antibiotics and stuff.
I don't. Fuck it. Let's
Then you're
roll.
done.
Yeah, let's all be done.
I mean, I do get to take a big
Oh,
nap.
Dorio rules, dude.
No.
And we just fucking
I'm tired of 4 o'clock alarms.
dude.
I like
That
life.
is true.
Life
That is
rips.
there's
Now,
very
as much as life sucks, life is awesome.
life's
To get to
amazing.
live this,
we
I
are
don't
living
want it
this
to end.
crazy,
Yeah.
cool fucking life. But what I'm saying is, at some point, like I'm ready to fucking not have to wake up every fucking morning at the ass crack of dawn, 4 a.m. Fucking caw caw. The fucking the roosters are crowing and whatnot. That's my rooster, but I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that so much, in fact, that I wish it was like God. Part of me wishes.
The asteroid would hit.
Yeah, but that's the point of life, is to be tired. That's what purpose and drive. That's what continually makes you do that. You don't think the farmer that has tons of acres eventually maybe gets tired of having to do the same thing over and over? It's the
Farmers hate
struggle.
farming.
The point of life is a struggle. Whether you're in the
shouldn't say that. They
city
don't.
or you're a farmer, there is going to be struggle in life. And
Do
once
you think
understand...
there's a rhythm, though, to life that we're not living, and that's why it's so fucking ridiculously hard for us right now? Because I feel like there's a rhythm to, like, waking up with the seasons and living with the earth in that regard,
that's
and
how
we're
people have always
not
been.
doing it.
No, we're not.
And that's
Especially
what's
living
really
in Seattle.
and that's
We're
the hard
living under
part,
fluorescent
right?
lights and concrete.
Yeah,
jungles and-
we the fucking endless night, or what they say? What's the fucking thing? Since the fucking invention of the light bulb, right? It's just been like, guess what? We can work later.
Yeah,
And
but
we're
also
gonna-
look at where we live. Like, this is a very gray, place. It don't get much vitamin D. If you look at where people came from, it's like it's all around
so you
the
want to talk about weather
equator.
control, huh?
No, but it's around the equator. The fact that we can live up here a lot easier is because of luxury. If all amenities fucked up, we'd probably start. People as
we'd
a
move
whole
down
would
south.
move
Yeah.
down south. Yeah, because of where we live. That is due to technologies, a life more fulfilled with capability.
It's
And-
interesting. The end of the Oregon Trail, or like the end of the Western expansion, is the end of the Oregon Trail, correct?
Yeah.
Why the
West
fuck
Coast,
did they end
Coast to
up
Coast.
in the northern part as opposed to the southern part? Because I imagine as weather got shitty, they could have stayed south and rode the equator to stay in a warm environment the entire time, as opposed to coming up into fucking Scappoose, Oregon, or fucking wherever in Oregon City, Oregon, where it ends up being a pretty kind of brutal winter, similar to what we have
I
here.
bet you what they
Why
did.
didn't they just fucking?
I think they found the easiest 10 miles at a time.
I think they went up to the
I mean,
Cascades.
I think there's a lot of
in the
chance
middle of the
involved
fucking
there.
in the middle of the winter though.
But I think what you're doing is you're following topography. You have the Rockies and you have the Cascades, and you're probably
they came through the
looking
Columbia
for
River
a
cut.
lowest spot. And so from the Cascades, they just followed the lowest spot out, and they followed the water out.
Do you think they follow the snow up, or like? 'Cause, I mean, you're ripping across the fucking Midwest, right? You're kind of cruising. Why did they fucking push north to get up, or did they not go south? Like, what was the? I don't know past like Oregon and Washington. Why'd they not go?
I think main lines kind of rivers run. I don't know. I mean, where did they eventually? They started out of what, Indiana, and that's kind of like right below the Great Lakes, and so longitudinally, like you're going left to right.
So they did kind of work their way down a little bit, but not.
But then I don't know. It depends how it wraps, and like just following the sun constantly.
I wonder.
Maybe it was a straight. What if it was a straight fucking
Just a
line?
fucking straight one.
Yeah,
You're
they
like,
nailed
we're going
it.
here, dude.
Not a degree off. Oregon, huh?
This is what it's like. West Coast.
Made it. Dude, Sacagawea, wasn't that Lewis and Clark? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's just I wish we had a little bit more of that in us.
Explore. That's a problem, though, when
Well, a
land
little
isn't
less-
available
a-
to be
A
explored.
little less technology in this world.
But no, we've also explored a lot of the land. Like with our fucking Google Maps and people that have seen everything, it's hard to see something new. I think part of that gives you that spirit is the unknown and exploring new places that aren't really known. That's why exploration has turned more inward, maybe towards electronics and computers and mind, but then it's like maybe the next exploration is really space. It'd be cool. Like, I think of that, like, that's an unknown. And to have the mentality be like, dude, I'm going to go light years away where there's no people and just exist. That's a certain type of personality and a mindset. And so if you went from one planet to another and you're like, I'm claiming this planet, I'm going to colonize it. To me, that's a little bit of that forethought or that personality of our, like, you
What's
know,
left over from those explorers and frontiersmen.
yeah. Give me freedom. I want somewhere new. This is mine. What is freedom? Let me be here.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think
let me be gets
most
trampled.
free
I'm
you can
learning.
be is by pushing for it.
Yes.
Right? Pushing into the fucking unknown because nobody can control you there.
But pushing into somewhere and being like, let me be, letting you be, no matter how far you go, it seems like you'll eventually get trampled. Maybe it's external or maybe it's internal, but you get trampled. There has to be exploring and there has to be sticking up for yourself. I'm learning more wherever you are.
Yeah.
And not only
advocating
you
for
have
your-
to fight
your
for
own
letting
rights.
you be.
Yeah,
It's not just
advocating
let
for
me
your
be
rights.
and say nothing. You have to say let me be and advocate for sovereignty.
I think that is an excellent point to wrap it up on right there.
Delvin's
Delvin's
done.
ready to get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody.